Hola, welcome back to the greatest show on MMA in the world it's ever
Yeah.
been. This is episode 12. And
Damn.
man,
It does.
there's a lot of violence going on outside the UFC.
I
It's
know. I feel
just an
like
observation.
Masvidal triggered something in society,
He
man. You
did.
got Will
Yeah.
Smith smacking Chris Rock. What's going on?
Well, John Jones was the true trigger. He's been beating up
Oh,
people for
yeah.
a while. But
Yeah. That's actually true.
Masvidal, Chael taking pills, not remember anything.
Chael fucking the details. Did we talk about the details of what happened last time?
Yeah, I brought it up, remember?
Dude, fucking a dentist and a wife. Jesus
Well,
Christ,
I heard
man.
it was more than I had one other bystander. I heard it was two or three or four other bystanders. They were
Oh
getting.
my God. It's like a kung fu movie where, like the guy who gets drunk for the
Have you,
first time and kills everyone in the bar.
have
Good
you have
God.
you ever taken Ambien?
Yeah, it'll fuck you up. If you stay up, it'll fuck you up, man.
He said he took an Ambien and he didn't remember anything.
Oh shit.
I wonder if
Do you
that'll
believe him?
fly. I don't know. I've never taken Ambien. That's why I was asking.
We used to do it in college. Like we would take an Ambien and not go to sleep, and you were fucked up. It was totally like you were drunk on your ass.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
but I remember shit. At least I did. I don't know. We'll see what
Well, he
happens with
was
Chael.
drinking apparently.
I was wondering why he never commented on things because I
Yeah.
feel like Chael would have commented if it was no
See,
big deal.
that's the weird thing about that because Chael, you comment on everything. Like Chael
Yeah.
gives the opinion, like, oh, my dick's small and I'm totally willing to talk about it. Like he would talk about anything. Why are you not talking about this?
Yeah,
Just walk us through it. I guess, legally you can't do that shit. But it's like, I don't know, man. Give us a clue.
There's something suspicious going on. We're not getting the full story, and we'll
You
keep you
makes
guys updated. I'm curious on how this one's going
it
to
makes you
unfold.
wonder who's the real. What's the real Chael like at home with the wife? Like, I don't know. This is nah.
When he got defeated, what was that last fight he had? Where he was defeated, right before he retired. You remember who was the last guy he fought against?
I don't know.
I can't remember. Well,
Tito.
right as he's making his retirement speech, he's getting interviewed and he's like, "Yeah, I'm done." He's got his kid, he's holding up and stuff like that, and he was somber and he was sad. You know what I mean? And I remember thinking like, oh, there's the real Chael. Like the humbled part, the part that he got hurt, he got defeated.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a lot of talk with Chael. We know that. That's what he does.
Unfortunately, it's a little too much talk. That's why he was never champ. But there's another guy I want to talk. Well, let's go to Bisping because Chael beat Bisping, and just Bisping in general. And I'll get a little bit of support. I think I'll get mostly blowback on this. I thought Bisping was an unbelievably weak champion.
Does anybody disagree with that?
That he's held as a look. He's held as a hero. He had one eye and he became champ. Look, fair
Look, he's
point.
got a great story. He's got an awesome story.
Well, and they wanted someone from the UK. But look. That fight he had with Anderson Silva, he got knocked out. I don't know if you ever saw that. Anderson knees him in the head, walks away celebrating, and Herb Dean didn't stop the fight. Like, you got knocked out, bro. You got gifted a title shot. You won it. You won. You knocked Luke Rockhold out, which doesn't seem that impressive in the long run. But his title reign was unbelievably pathetic to me.
Yeah.
They gave you Dan Henderson, who's like 43. He's not even top 10. He's like he's got one fight left to retire. The man's done.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, we're going to give Dan a shot. I don't think you won the fight. I mean, if most that was a draw, like you couldn't even beat him at the end of his career. You win that. And then I'm okay. They gave you your little freebie title victory. He was supposed to fight Yoel Romero, who was killing everybody. And I wanted to see it. I wanted to see Bisping get crucified.
That would have been a lamb to the slaughter.
And he avoided it. And then you take a fight with GSP. And that's cowardice on GSP's fight, too. You want to be a double fucking champ. GSP came back because he's like, oh, I can beat him and only Bisping. That was fucked up.
Yeah.
Bisping used to fight at 205 and he was a contender. He was a top 5 contender at 205 at one point.
Yeah.
You go down to 185 and you're the champ. And you can't beat a 170 pounder. It was embarrassing. Even in the interviews, Bisping's like, I know why you took this fight, GSP, because you think I'm an easy fight. You think I'm easy. And he was right. He beat you. Yeah. His title reign to me was embarrassing. And he should have gave Rockhold the third fight. Rockhold's unlikable, but he's clearly a superior fighter. Just have the
It's
trilogy and move on.
It's proof that the UFC genuinely values personality. You know, like
You summed it up right there.
yeah, it's why Conor McGregor is probably going to get another title shot, even though he does not fucking deserve it.
Let me see this. If I had to hang out between Bisping or Luke Rockhold, I'm hanging out with Bisping. That's gonna be a great. I like Bisping.
No
He's
doubt.
cool. He's a cool cat.
Bisping's hanging out with Shemaya.
He's a weak champ. He's a weak
like
champ.
Yeah.
I hate that he gets propped up more than Dan Henderson. Dan Henderson was twice the fighter of him. He won the title legitimately, but he defended it like a woman. It was shit. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think people are going to disagree with you. I think he's likable, definitely likable. And you know what? He's got an opinion. Motherfucker he was defending Will Smith, you know, but at least he's got that personality.
Well, most of the MMA world defends Will Smith.
No,
because
way.
They punch people. They punch people.
No way.
Of course,
no
they do.
Way.
100%.
Name somebody else besides Michael Bisping.
Look it up. They all do.
Bullshit. Rogan condemned him. Rogan said, "No fucking way. That's crossing the line, man. You can't be doing this shit.
Maybe.
No way.
Maybe.
Man. What else you got?
Well, let's see. We talked Wonderboy Thompson, man.
Another one. Yeah.
Look, there's nothing going on with the guy. I've never liked him. I did at one point. That Wonderboy's fighting. He's got this weird stance. He's like 6'2", 6'3".
Karate stance.
He's got these cool. That. It's cool. Like when you
Yeah.
kick someone and knock him out, you're like, oh fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
You get his personality. He's super Christian, super like never will talk shit. Oh yeah, how are you doing? Let me pray for you. It's just super nauseatingly humble, but you tolerate it because he can kick you in the head. And that was his saving grace. He fights Woodley twice. Tyrone Woodley was the epitome of a weak champ too. Geez, talk about Bisping, but Woodley was a weak champ. Dude, you couldn't beat Woodley. I watched that first fight. He got caught and he was glazed out. And the second fight, they run it back. I just want to say this. They run it back. And I'm just like, dude, all you got to do is be aggressive. You can be. He hesitated for 5 straight rounds. He did nothing. It was the worst fight I've ever seen in my entire life. I was like, dude, you just got gift wrapped a second title shot. All you got to do is be aggressive. And it was pathetic. Unbelievably pathetic. And ever since then, I've had zero respect for him.
I think that there's something that dies inside. You lose the champion mindset, or maybe you never have the champion's mindset.
That right. Can you imagine that you get the shot at a world title, you fight, and it comes out a draw, and you're like, wow, and you gift wrapped the second opportunity. And
do you know Wonderboy's story? Do you know like where he comes from?
South Carolina.
What I mean is he was born at the perfect time for a UFC fighter, right? Like he was born with his family was all about it. He was trained in every martial arts from the beginning.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, like he's got footages of him in like little tournaments when he's a little kid and all that shit. Trained in all the martial arts, got his black belts at like 10 or 11 or some shit like that, you know? Like he was the one anointed, you know? He's going to be the future.
So what cost you see in my head? It's your personality. It's this nice guy Christian bullshit that you give the appeal that you never want to fight anybody. And you're a fighter. It's like you don't have it. If he had a smidgen of fucking killer instinct, he'd be champion. He would have been champ.
In my mind, there's two types of champions. There's the crazy person and the Zen person. Mike Tyson or Lennox Lewis. You know, like you know what I'm saying? Tiger Woods or Conor McGregor. You're either completely fucking out of your mind, like there's something wrong with you, or there's something like you are just insanely calm.
Well, look, I think it's two different approaches. Look, if you got the Zen, if you're like the Tiger Woods, you better be head and shoulders above the rest like him. Mm-hmm. You cannot be Zen and be squeaking by in fights. You know, or you can
And just to make it clear, Tiger Woods was fucking ruthless. Like just because he was in doesn't mean he wasn't an insane competitor.
He was head and shoulders above it. That's what worked for him, calm and composed. But let's take a Conor McGregor, who what we're seeing now is just he might be top 5. He ain't that great. He's beatable.
Yeah.
It was a psychological game. I'm going to talk shit. I'm going to say anything I can to be outrageous and make you do something stupid. And I'm going to
Sure.
capitalize on it. And he
Sure.
did it for what, 2 years?
2 years. Yeah, he had his little reign, but I'm telling you that there's something about the Christian mindset. Well, sorry to bash Christian people out here, but
Okay, go ahead. They don't mind.
You can't have this, like, I want to thank God. First of all, he's the real hero. He's the one. And I just pray for my opponent over here. Just no, that's not how champions fucking think, man. That's not, you can't have that mentality. You can't be thinking of Jesus in your corner. You have to be thinking about killing somebody.
Yeah.
You know, if anything, I wish there were like Satanists out there. Like one guy's a hardcore Christian. He's like, I'd like to thank the devil for putting this little bitch into my hands. I can break him down. I'm gonna send him straight to hell. You know, like that. There's that mentality of love. Just it don't work in a championship situation. It just can't.
Not in an individual sport. No, man, you got to be a killer. You got to be a killer. Look. Anyway, you got to be a killer.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, is Yoel still around? Is he still fighting?
He went to he went to Bellator, and now they're forcing him to fight at 205, and he kind of looks like old and pudgy now.
Oh, you're kidding. He was built like a god.
I feel bad for Yoel because Bisping ducked him. He had the title fight right after Bisping won the title. He should have got it. Oh no, we're gonna give it to Dan Henderson. Okay, fine. And is it my turn? No, we're gonna give it to GSP. And it's like, he got fucked over for like a year and a half, man.
Yeah.
And he could have been. He never gets to have that title as UFC champ because Bisping, fucking just had to just absorb it all for champ. Let me walk around and take fucking. I hated how he handled himself.
This is why the UFC needs a dose of the pride, because the pride, you have a specimen like that walking to Japan, they're throwing you right into the ring. They'll get that fucking freak in there.
Yeah.
Let's see what you can do. Yeah, that's why Bob Sapp always was going to be able to fight. And then the pride, put the freak in there. Let's see what happens.
It still blows my mind. How was that possible? How did that go? Because that was the most brilliant marketing effort. Let's take this huge fat African man and we're going to put him up against our number one heavyweight. Like, what? He's what? Like, where people going to pay to see it? Let's take this huge fucking Chinese man that's 7 feet tall and weighs 400 pounds. And let's put him up against this really fast guy that's 170 pounds.
Yes, that's what the people want, man. You know what? That's the Bruce Lee scenario.
Let's have tournaments. Let's have a semifinal and a final in the same night. And I'm like, oh, yes. I'm telling you,
dude, let me tell you, it's the Bruce Lee scenario. See, like the two great Bruce Lee fights are Bruce Lee versus Chuck Norris in the Coliseum in Rome, by the way.
Yeah.
And then the other one, Bruce Lee versus Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah, I remember that at the top story. Yeah.
So it's either a freak match or the best. Like that's what
in the Coliseum, though. It's got to be in the Coliseum.
Come on. They understood this. They understood this mentality, and unfortunately, I just think the UFC is missing an opportunity, man. The fact that they passed over Yoel is a fucking travesty.
It was stupid. You had a fucking genetic miracle, and you could have had him as champ. A genetic miracle. I have never been that jealous of a man's physique in my life. If I could trade physiques with any man at any point in time, it would have been Yoel Romero in fight shape. Like, that was incredible. How did you see that? And he's like 42, 41. He's not even in his prime. It's like 10 years outside of his prime. I've never seen anything like it. The most fat dude, did you ever see I saw parts of his video with Rogan. He had Joey Diaz as the interpreter.
Yeah.
And they're like, what's
I saw that.
Yeah, Cuba. Oh, you're the top champ. He's like,
Jesus.
Work my way up to number one in wrestling practice. And just remember that if you're number 3, you eat better than number 4.
Oh,
number 2 eats better than number 3, but number 1 eats better than number 2. You're like,
now, that's motivation right there.
Wow. That will produce a super soldier.
That's how you produce a super soldier. Yeah. But you only get one.
But he could have been champ, man. He could have. I was a Yoel fan. I was. He did waste a lot of title shots, but I was a fan early on. He was. Yeah. I wish I had a fucking figure like that.
Remember him and Paulo Costa?
That was Truly one of the greatest fights I've ever seen. One of my favorites. The USDA took the night off for steroid testing. They just
That
went
was
home.
a pride fight. That
It
was a
was-
pride fight right
that
there.
was
That was
just
two apes going
Neanderthals.
at it.
Neanderthals.
Yeah,
Both of those
just-
fucking men.
Paulo Costa, that's the peak out of Latin America right there, you know? And then you got the peak out of the Caribbean on the other side. Just,
Hey,
whoo.
Let me tell you something. I've watched that fight a couple times. I'm convinced Yoel won that fight. 2-1
It's
Yoel.
tight.
They
gotta
got
watch
that
it too.
wrong.
Wow.
They got it.
Yeah,
You know what we're gonna do next time? Me and you're gonna watch that fight. That's
We
what
should
we're
watch
gonna
that fight. That was
We
a
should
great
watch this
fight, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
We should watch the fight. And we should have our scores at the end and argue about it. That's what we
Okay.
should do.
Yeah. I'm down for
That
that.
sounds brilliant, actually. Dean and
Let's-
Chase review fights, have their scores, and argue about it. That'll be the name of it.
I think that's good. We'll put the weasel out of business. That's what
Fucking
we'll do.
that. That's exactly what he is to me. He's a little fucking weasel that could be disposed of fucking just like this. Nothing. Nothing to me. Put that guy down, man.
I love it. Yeah. All right. We'll end it there then. Yeah.
Well done. A game shit.
We'll see you next time, folks.
Yeah, adios.